Good evening and welcome to our annual Fire That Kindles Other Fires Hurtado Scholars Celebration. As we begin all things at Rockhurst and with Hurtado Scholars, we'd like to begin with a prayer. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen. Gracious God, last Sunday as church we celebrated the Feast of Pentecost, where we recalled how the Holy Spirit, as Christ promised, descended upon his apostles and set their hearts aflame with courage, hearts once ruled by fear. Set their hearts aflame with hope that had been captured by despair, and with love that had been held by distrust. As we gather this evening, we recall St. Alberto Hurtado, Jesuit priest and descendant of your apostles. Alberto, of whom it was said by his faithful witness and obvious joy for the gospel, sparked fires for Christ in the hearts of so many. Tonight we call for his intercession upon our gathering and give thanks as we call down the Spirit for all the ways that you have blessed us and these Hurtado scholars, their families, our friends and benefactors, and Rockhurst High School for these past 10 years of the program. As we celebrate, inspire us by the Spirit with that same generosity and charity with which you inspired St. Alberto Hurtado. And we ask this all in Jesus' name. Amen. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Good evening. Welcome to this wonderful celebration. My name is Anita Paredes, and I am a member of the Rockhurst High School Board of Trustees. I'm a current parent, and I'm a mother of a graduate from the great class of 2019, and I'm also the wife of an alum from the great class of 93. My family has been a part of the Rockhurst community for quite some time, and we have also been supporters of the Hurtado Scholars Program since its early years. I am here this evening with Loon Lee. He is a graduate of the great class of 2021. Loon is a member of the second cohort of the Hurtado Scholars Program. He has also attended Holy Cross in Kansas City, Missouri. A little bit about Loon: he loves cars. He has helped with his parents at their auto shop. And Loon has very high hopes to achieve as he pursues his dream in medicine. He has just completed his freshman year at Mizzou, and I'm excited to say it's very comforting that my oldest has been able to see Loon at Mizzou and share at least that familiarity, because my son tutored Loon Lee when he was in the Hurtado Scholars Program. So this program is full circle for everybody, and this is just a prime example. They grew up on opposite ends of the city, yet they have come full circle and are attending the same university at this time. So Loon, I'd like to introduce you to the front. He will be my MC or co-MC for this celebration this evening. Now, one of the original Jesuit missions in the U.S. was to educate lower income, underserved minorities in the inner city. These were primarily Irish, German, Italian, Slavic, and other immigrant families. At some point, someone in your family was the first to benefit from such a program. Maybe that first person was you. That initial spark changed the future for your family, creating new visions and opportunities. In the Jesuit tradition, a new legacy of men and women for others was born into your family. That initial spark has become a continuing fire that kindles other fires within your family. El fuego que encienden otros fuegos. As our namesake, Father Alberto Hurtado would speak often of this phrase. So I'd like to introduce Loon Lee.
More than a decade ago, Rockhurst identified a gap we could bridge to make a Rockhurst High School education possible for middle school students. Father Baum and Principal Greg Harkness, who knew of a successful middle school program in New York, combined their drive with faculty members Father Bill and Mr. Brandon Jones. The result was the launch of the Hurtado Scholars Program at Our Lady of Guadalupe, Our Lady of Angels, and Holy Cross Middle Schools in Kansas City, Missouri. After the consolidation of Our Lady of Angels and Our Lady of Guadalupe schools into Our Lady of Hope School on the near west side, St. John Francis Regis School students in the Blue Ridge corridor began participating in the Hurtado Scholars Program also. In 2015, when Father Bill Sheehan left Rockhurst to complete his Jesuit formation in tertianship, Mr. Marvin Grillo was named director of the Hurtado Scholars Program. Here to tell us about our work in those schools and the work of the students in high school is Mr. Anthony Ray, Rockhurst High School social studies teacher and middle school director of the Hurtado Scholars Program.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us as we celebrate the start of Hurtado Scholars' 10th year of operation and the extraordinary leadership of Marvin Grillo over the last 7 years. We're also grateful to welcome back Father Bill Sheehan, the founding director of our program. As legend goes, the Arupe Scholars Program had its roots in a car ride from St. Louis to Kansas City between Father Sheehan, former Principal Greg Harkness, and former faculty member Max McGee. The three began discussing their hopes in ensuring that Rockhurst High School would continue living its Jesuit mission to journey with youth with great potential from all walks of life in the Kansas City area. Later, this program would be renamed after a recently canonized Chilean Jesuit, St. Alberto Hurtado. The program's roots were humble and ambitious. And thanks to your support, look how far we've come. In 10 years, the program has served 110 boys, with 32 of them having a brother who is or was a scholar. 14 of our families have sent multiple boys through the program. In the fall, we will have 34 boys in our middle school programming, 33 boys attending Rockhurst High School, and 21 who have graduated from both Hurtado Scholars and Rockhurst High School. While no young man who attends Hurtado is entitled to or required to attend Rockhurst, this means that from the start of our program 10 years ago, 90% of the boys who the program has served have graduated from Rockhurst, are attending Rockhurst, or currently plan to attend Rockhurst High School. Furthermore, 13 boys from our Hurtado partner grade schools who are not associated with the Hurtado program will be enrolled at Rockhurst this fall. As originally envisioned and dreamed for, families who would not have considered Rockhurst High School as a viable or accessible option for their sons in the past are now seeking Rockhurst out, and their sons are thriving on State Line Road. Our scholars are indeed thriving, and they bring so much joy to our Rockhurst community. At the middle school level, our boys averaged 1.5 years of academic growth between August 2020 and June of 2021 based on standardized testing scores. But their success should be measured more in laughs and smiles than in numbers. These boys choose to give up every other Saturday during the school year and 5 weeks of their summer break because they have fun and they want to grow spiritually, academically, socially, and physically. Being a Hurtado Scholar is not easy, and yet our boys approach this opportunity with so much grit, so much grace, and so much more gratitude. When all is said and done, a boy going through the Hurtado program will have attended nearly 100 extra full school days in his 6th through 8th grade years. This is about 60% of an additional school year. The families of the scholars and Holy Cross School, Our Lady of Hope School, and St. Regis Academy are so supportive and partner with us in ensuring that this program continues to serve our boys well. At the high school level, The program's graduates are thriving. 2 Hurtado graduates who will be entering the freshman class scored above the 95th percentile on the Rockhurst entrance exam. Our Hurtado graduates in the classes of 2021 and 2022 ended their Rockhurst careers with average GPAs well over 3.0. On the pre-ACT in the last 2 years, our Scholar graduates have progressed from an average score of 18 to 19.7, while our average PSAT scores have grown from a 972 to a 1020. 4 Hurtado Scholar graduates in the Rockhurst class of 2022 also earned college scholarships from the Hispanic Development Fund as they begin to pursue their next chapters in life. Real, measurable growth and accomplishments are happening. More importantly, our young men are integrating into the life of the Rock as athletes, as retreat leaders, as thespians, as participants on service trips, and so much more. They are Hawklets through and through, and they make the Rock better each and every day thanks to their presence and their efforts. Much has changed in the nearly 10 years since our first 6th graders joined this program, and yet, at the heart of all we do remains our commitment to create a loving environment of support and care in which each young man entrusted to us can strive to meet his full God-given potential. Our world and our church need strong, intelligent, and ethical leaders now more than ever. Thank you for supporting and journeying with us for these past 10 wonderful years. Through the hard work of all, much has been accomplished, and yet our commitment remains the same as when we started. We will keep caring for and journeying with these young men and their families. We will continue to strive for excellence and growth with and for them. And we will do all of this for the greater glory of God. Thank you again for joining us this evening, and thank you for being part of our Hurtado family. Now, it will be my pleasure to get to introduce you to a few other exemplary members of our Hurtado community. This year, the Hurtado Scholars Program has introduced 2 new awards to recognize the accomplishments of both our middle school scholars and graduates from Rockhurst High School. The first is called the White Van Award, named for the infamous white school vans that transported the scholars in the earliest days of the program. To our boys, these white vans and the time spent inside of them symbolize community and resilience. The description of this award reads, "The White Van Award winner, chosen by the Hurtado Scholars faculty, has exemplified the pillars, academic, leadership, spiritual and faith formation, and social development of the Hurtado Scholars Program upon completion of his 8th grade year. He has used his God-given gifts to improve his community, the program, and himself, and he has consistently exemplified good citizenship and a strong growth mindset in all that he does." The White Van awardee, like St. Alberto Hurtado, is a fire that kindles other fires through his character, deeds, and leadership. He realizes the significant commitment the program has made to him and his family, and he has been consistently committed to giving back to his various communities in turn. The White Van Award winner has made exemplary efforts at reaching his greatest God-given potential, and he is poised to continue his great leadership and success at Rockhurst High School and beyond. This year's White Van Award winner, Flavio Rubio, is a graduate of Holy Cross School, and he will join our freshman class in the fall. Flavio received his award at his 8th grade completion lunch in early May, and he and his family are here with us tonight. I welcome Flavio to stand so that we can recognize his accomplishment. As has become tradition here at the Fire That Kindles Other Fires evening, it is now my pleasure to introduce Mrs. Yuli Espinoza, Flavio's mother, to speak on the impact the Hurtado Scholars Program has had on her son and her family. Mrs. Espinoza is currently finishing her 6th year of teaching Spanish and religion at Holy Cross School in Kansas City, one of our Hurtado partner schools. Yulia is a migrant from Cuba, and she and her family are very involved in the life of their parish at Holy Cross. We are extremely excited to have Mrs. Espinoza join the faculty of Rockhurst High School this fall as a Spanish instructor.
Thank you. I don't know if I can raise my voice like Mr. Ray did, but I will try. Good evening. A few days ago, Mr. Ray asked me to speak at this event about what the Hurtado program has represented for my family. My answer was an immediate yes. My name is Yulis Espinosa Costa, and I want to share with you a little about myself, my family, and the Hurtado program. Although my speech includes personal or family aspects, it has much in common with many Hurtado's families. In the cold winter of 2009, my husband Roger, my 15-month-old son Flavio, Diana in my womb, and I arrived in this city through the refugee program. JVS, U.S. Vocational Service, was the institution that welcomed us and helped us in the first 3 months until Roger started working. We will always be grateful for everything that organization did for us, especially one of their social workers who waited for us at the airport holding a sign with Roger's name. For us, was a sign of God's faithfulness and presence. Diana was born on November 1st, 8 days after Flavio's second birthday. With 2 small children and no English, Roger and I decided that I could stay home to care for them and go back to school at night. Flavio attended public schools until 1st grade. In the summer before 2nd grade, I began my first job, and the first investment was enrolling Diana in kindergarten and Flavio in 2nd grade at Holy Cross School. Flavio was in 5th grade when he was nominated to apply to the Hurtado program. At that time, we didn't know all the details about the program, but we were excited about the possibility that our son could attend a Catholic high school. We applied and Flavio was accepted. I remember the interview.
Me too.
The Hurtado program goes beyond financial aid. It also helps the academic and spiritual growth of our boys. Mr. Grilliot and Mr. Ray, together with the Rockers administration and teachers, made this program the complement that our kids and our families need so that the boys learn and are motivated to be men for others. In 6th grade, the Hurtado scholars were transported in the white van on Tuesdays and Thursdays to Rutgers University to reinforce their learning of math and English. After the pandemic, this changed to Saturday academies from 8 a.m. until noon. Also, as part of the program, boys are required to attend school the summers before 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. I don't know how they did it or do it to keep the boys motivated, but Flavio went and came happily every day, regardless of whether it was a day of classes, exams, or service. Many thanks to the founders of this program, to the leaders and teachers, to the volunteers, to the donors, and to everyone who makes the dream of many families to send their boys to Rutgers a reality. And may our loving God, who does not allow himself to be outdone in generosity. Bless each one of them and allow the program to continue to be the those other fires. Saint Alberto Hurtado, pray for us. Thank you. Now I want to do what I can do best, speak Spanish. Buenas noches. Hace unos días el señor Rey me pidió hablar en este evento sobre lo que el programa de Hurtado ha representado para mi familia. Mi respuesta fue un sí inmediato. Mi nombre es Yulis Espinosa Acosta y quiero compartirles un poquito sobre mí, mi familia y el programa de Hurtado. Aunque mi discurso incluya aspectos personales o familiares, tiene mucho en común con muchas familias del programa de Hurtado. En el frío invierno del 2009, mi esposo Roger, mi niño Flavio de 15 meses, Diana en mi vientre y yo llegamos a esta ciudad por el programa de refugiados. JVS fue la institución que nos dio la bienvenida y nos ayudó en los primeros 3 meses hasta que Roger empezó a trabajar. Siempre estaremos agradecidos por todo lo que esa organización hizo por nosotros, especialmente una de las trabajadoras sociales que nos esperó en el aeropuerto aguantando un cartel. This is the hardest part. Con el nombre de Roger. Para nosotros eso era una señal de la fidelidad y la presencia de Dios. Diana nació el 1 de noviembre, 8 días después del segundo cumpleaños de Flavio. Con 2 niños pequeños y sin saber inglés, Roger y yo decidimos que yo me quedara en casa cuidándolos y regresara a la escuela en las noches. Flavio asistió a escuelas públicas hasta 1er grado. En el verano, antes de empezar 2º grado, yo tuve mi primer trabajo y la primera inversión fue inscribir a Diana en kindergarten y a Flavio en 2º grado en la escuela La Santa Cruz. Flavio estaba en 5º grado cuando fue nominado para aplicar al programa de Hurtado. En ese momento no sabíamos todos los detalles del programa, pero nos ilusionaba la posibilidad de que nuestro hijo pudiera asistir a una high school católica. Aplicamos y Flavio fue aceptado. El programa de becas de Hurtado no se basa solamente en una ayuda financiera, sino que también incluye el crecimiento espiritual y académico de los niños. El señor Grilliot y el señor Rey, en conjunto con la administración y maestros de Rockers, hacen que este programa sea el complemento que nuestros hijos y nuestras familias necesitan para que todos los niños aprendan y se motiven a ser hombres para otros. En 6º grado, los niños eran transportados en la camioneta blanca los martes y jueves a la Universidad de Rockers para reforzar el aprendizaje de matemáticas e inglés. Después de la pandemia, esto cambió para los sábados de 8 de la mañana hasta el mediodía. Además, como parte del programa, los niños deben asistir a la escuela los veranos antes de 6º, 7º y 8º grado. No sé cómo lo hacían o hacen para mantener a los niños motivados, pero Flavio iba y regresaba feliz cada día sin importar si era un día de clases, exámenes o de servicio. Muchas gracias a los fundadores de este programa, a los líderes, a los maestros, a los voluntarios, a todos los que convierten el sueño de muchas familias de enviar a sus hijos a Rockers en una realidad. y que nuestro Dios amoroso, que no se deja ganar en generosidad, bendiga a cada uno de ellos y permita que este programa siga siendo el fuego que enciende otros fuegos. San Alberto Hurtado, intercede por nosotros. Gracias.
Our next award is the Green Truck Award, named for St. Alberto Hurtado's infamous green pickup that was used in his work helping young boys in need in Santiago. The description of this award reads, "The Green Truck Award winner, chosen by the Hurtado Scholars faculty in consultation with the Rockhurst High School faculty and administration, is a program graduate who has made the most of his time at Rockhurst High School upon his high school graduation, through his commitment to the values and skills he learned while a Hurtado Scholar. Through his love and commitment to Rockhurst High School and the Hurtado Scholars Program, the awardee has worked to meet his full God-given potential as an Ignatian leader through his manifestation of the ideals of the graduate at graduation, a person who is religious, loving, intellectually competent, open to growth, and committed to service and justice. The Green Truck Award winner is honest, driven, and shows a great love and care for others in all that he does. He is poised to leave Rockhurst High School and the program better than he found them as he prepares to make his mark on our world. It is now my great pleasure to introduce to you this year's Green Truck Award winner, Mr. Matteo De La Torre of the great Rockhurst class of 2022.
Thank you, Mr. Wright, for that introduction. Like you said, my name is Matteo De La Torre from the great class of 2022. And I want to start off by saying thank you to those who nominated me for this award. And I would like to thank you for the kindness and gracious gift that is this award. But most importantly, I want to thank the mentors and leaders that have been a part of the Hurtado program. From Father Bill driving us in the morning, Mr. Grillo handing out snacks, and other mentors like Josh Castaneda or Darius Washington helping us with Alex, our math program. I remember when we first started, I was a little worried because we would have to give up a lot of our summers and spend more time in school, which is not very appealing to a bunch of 5th graders. But the moments that I look back on and that I miss the most are waking up early and being at school at 8 a.m., waiting outside with other scholars, and especially the van rides from and to Rockhurst High School. Now, my 8th grade year, I can recall being excited but scared. All of my time in middle school and Hurtado was coming to an end, and I knew it. So I filled my time up as much as I could. We had Hurtado every Tuesday and Thursday from 3 to 5, and I had been involved in track, basketball, and football, and other various activities. And sometimes it was right after Hurtado, which was a lot. To some, this was crazy, and I remember one of my teachers towards the end of the year said, "Wow, I bet you must be glad to have some time off this summer." Now, I jokingly said yes, but I was terrified of doing nothing, having no obligations. It was when I had heard Mr. Grillo say that he was in fact a teacher at Rockhurst, which had never even occurred to me at the time. I began to see all of the other people around me, not just as teachers, but as people or as a person who has given up their time to be with me. I saw how happy the people who had been there for me were when I graduated Hurtado, and so I knew that my time was best spent on others. It was through the Hurtado program that I found my confidence and joy in being active and giving up my time to others and offering up my talents. I found many ways to help my community, the Rockhurst community, through activities, such as going from grounds crew to the freshman retreat my sophomore year to being a leader my senior year, or to talking about my experience to incoming freshmen at night at the Rock, or leading a discussion panel with the Hispanic faculty at Rockhurst. I continuously seek ways to give up my time and talents as a way to help me be better so that I might help others, which is why I have chosen a pre-law track at KU so that I might pursue a career in immigration law.
Such a humble man, Father Bill Sheehan has been a big presence within the Rockhurst High School community. Since he joined the faculty in 2008, and throughout his time, in addition to teaching theology and English, he has served as the rector of the Rockhurst Jesuit community. And he stepped in for us at Rockhurst High School to be our interim president for the year of 2017, and co-founded the Hurtado Scholars Program in 2012. Father Sheehan was assigned by the Jesuits to Fordham University in New York, where he serves currently as the superior of a community of Jesuits who are in formation. Welcome back, Father Sheehan. We miss you.
Again, good evening. When I left Rockhurst High School in 2015 to complete Jesuit tertianship, Mr. Greg Harkness and I knew that there were many good candidates to take up the leadership of the Hurtado program. But we both hoped that Marvin Grillo would apply for the director's position. And I prayed. In addition to good, very good administrative abilities and experience as an educator, long-time experience, Marvin has a quality that few of us have and one that does not easily fit on a traditional resume, but was especially needed in the Hurtado program in 2015. That quality is best said by a Spanish phrase, el buen pastor, which translates the good shepherd. Of course, Jesus is our good shepherd, the good shepherd. And yet, for a new program still in its infancy, Hurtado definitely needed un buen pastor, a good shepherd. Un buen pastor who could tend faithfully, patiently, lovingly, wisely, and with perseverance, first Hurtado scholars and their families, but also Hurtado program teachers, volunteers, as well as Rockhurst teachers and staff members, plus external partners as the program needed to grow, and tend to interested benefactors. In talking about the care of the scholars, Marvin will frequently use this line. It's an African proverb. It takes a village to raise a child, or as Marvin likes to say, it takes a village. While many of us here have shared in this effort of contributions to this program, it has been a good shepherd, un buen pastor, who quietly has tended these sheep without fanfare when the rest of us have returned to the village. It's been un buen pastor who has been willing to lose sleep some nights with worry that the wolves in the form of episodic academic challenges, a scholar's family crisis, the challenge of placing well a student in college upon graduation from our school, as well as that garden variety thing we call ordinary teenage angst that afflicts all of us at some point in adolescence, that any one of these wolves might claim a precious sheep. Un buen pastor searches with emails, phone calls, texts, even drives across the metro to catch a sheep that may have wandered afar. Un buen pastor who celebrates ordinary milestones of adolescence with children not his own, and in so doing, he becomes family to them. Un buen pastor who humbly accepts and gratefully accepts his role as not a job description, but a response to grace, a response to God's call to give and even sacrifice out of love for those sheep entrusted to his care. Marvin, you have been un buen pastor, a good shepherd, a great shepherd, companioning scores of boys along their journey to manhood for 7 years, while also building and innovating a program from its infancy to its full maturity. One that now has other Catholic high schools looking to imitate what we have done with Hurtado as a way of filling out their missions. The Hurtado program, Rockhurst High School, our Kansas City community, and even our local church are better because of your faithful leadership. Some of the young men whose lives have been touched by your work have a few words they'd like to share with you now.
Hey, Mr. Grillo. It makes me sad to hear that you're stepping down as the Hurtado Scholars Program Director, but I'm happy for you, and I wish you the best in whatever the future holds for you. Thanks for everything.
Hey, Mr. Grillo, I just wanted to thank you for everything that you've done for me and for the Hurtado Scholars Program. I wouldn't be who I am, and the Hurtado Scholars Program wouldn't be what it is without you. You have done so much for everyone a part of it and for myself, and we are just so grateful. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Grillo, for when I was starting Rockhurst, you told me to put myself out there instead of being off the radar, sort of in the back of the class, being in the shadows, and thank you for being my confirmation sponsor.
Hey, Mr. Grillo, thank you so much for being my mentor and guiding me into the person I am today. Thank you so much for your leadership and always believing in me. Thank you.
Hey, Mr. Grillo, I just want to say a warm thank you from not only me, but the other Hurtado scholars, past and present, for everything you've done for us these past 7 years, and that in the future you may be successful in whatever you're doing, even after the Hurtado scholars.
Thanks, Mr. Grillo, for putting in all that hard work with the Hurtado scholars, and thank you for guiding us to be successful.
Thank you, Mr. Grillo, for the opportunity to be part of the Hurtado Scholars Program, make new friends, experiences, go to Rockhurst High School, and a greater opportunity to go to college after high school.
I would like to thank Mr. Grillo. I would like to thank you for all your hard work, everything that you've taught me so far about being a young man, being responsible in this world, and what you've done for this program has been amazing from my eyes and from my point of view, and also from my families. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Grillo, for everything you've done for us these past couple years. You've been there for all of us and given us a great opportunity. You're always checking up on us, and I really respect you for that. So thank you.
Hey, Mr. Grillo, I just want to say thank you. I really appreciate all the work that you've done to help me out for the past couple years with the Hurtado Scholars Program. Thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you, Mr. Grillo, for giving me the opportunity to go to Rockhurst and being one of the main reasons for my successes at school.
Hi, Mr. Grillo. Thank you for everything you've done for Hurtado.
Mr. Grillo, thank you for helping all of us Hurtado scholars, and especially thank you for helping me get caught up on all my work this year.
I just want to say thank you for everything that you do for me and the other Hurtado scholars. I realize that it takes a lot of time to do everything that you do, especially on the weekend, so I appreciate that. Thank you.
Hello, Mr. Grillo. It's Devon here. I just want to say thank you for your years of service to me and my classmates. I'll make it a point forward now to start checking my emails, and I also want to say that you never beat me in basketball, and thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Grillo, for every opportunity you have given me the past 4 years. It's helped a lot, and to me and my family, and my friends as well. Thank you.
On behalf of my brother and I, we'd like to thank you, Mr. Grillo, for everything you've done for the family, everything you've done for the school. Even knowing you since 3rd grade has been a huge change for me, and my family can't really thank you enough. And we all wanted to say, we love you, Mr. Grillo.
Hello, Mr. Grillo. Thank you for all the support you've done for the Hurtado program. What you did for all of us had really impacted on what we would go on forward, especially with all the opportunities we get from Rockhurst.
Hey, Mr. Grillo. Congratulations. I'm proud of you. It's an honor to know you, and I'd like to thank you for your dedication to myself and my fellow Hurtado brothers for the last few years. I wish you the best and whatever else you pursue in life. Thank you.
Hello, Mr. Grillo. Thank you for your service as the director of the Hurtado Scholars Program. I also want to thank you for helping me establish in the Rockhurst community. Without you, I wouldn't be here. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Grillo, for everything you've done, especially for just letting me be the first one from my school to be part of the program. Just thank you so much for that, and I really don't know where I would be without you giving me the opportunity.
Thank you for all that you've done for us, and being there for us and helping us out and helping us through high school and for the field trips. And congrats on moving on.
Hey, Mr. Grillo, I'm here at my grad party having a good time, and I just wanted to say thank you so much for all that you've done. You know, you're the man that makes it happen, and you're the one who's been there for us this whole time through high school and middle school and the summer and Hurtados, and just wanted to say thank you so much for all that you've done. You mean so much to all of us here. Thank you.
Big shout out to Mr. Grillo. Thank you for all your years of service and all that you've done, not only for me, but for the whole Hurtado program. I got a lot of love for you, Mr. Grillo. You've always been like a second father to me. I thank you for all the advice you've given me over the years. I'm gonna hold that all dear in my heart for the rest of my life. And if you ever need me, you can always text me or call me, whatever you need. And just so you know, you're always gonna be in my prayers, and I love you forever, Mr. Grillo.
Marvin, as you prepare to return to nurturing minds and hearts, once again as a full-time teacher at Rockhurst High School, while continuing your role as a devoted husband to Rachel and father to Sam, Ben, and Maggie, on behalf of our school's president, Mr. David Laughlin, the Rockhurst High School community, and all gathered here, it is my privilege to thank you for your tremendous service and in recognition to present to you the 2022 Fire That Kindles Other Fires Award. In addition to this award, the Hurtado scholars and graduates also have a certificate of achievement they wish to present to you.
Gracias. If I'm good at anything, I think it's just knowing good people. All of you that know me know I love this, right? I love this. I better stick to my paper. Raise the microphone. Something that's never been said to me. Raise the microphone. This is overwhelming, but if there's any recognition for this, it's for the people I know. To Bill and Greg, who had a dream, Bill Sheehan and Greg Harkness, thank you. The recognition belongs to the Bright Futures schools and our partners there at Holy Cross and Our Lady of Hope and St. Regis Academy. The recognition for any success belongs to the benefactors and the donors that have given between $5 and on up. Especially some of you at the beginning who are in this room who believed in us from the very beginning. This recognition belongs to so many community partners
that have supported us have always said yes. Alicia from Rock U is here. This recognition certainly belongs to the Rockhurst community, and particularly teachers that I'm honored to know in the Hurtado program, who I'm just proud they let me eat lunch with them, and particularly Brandon Jones, who has been a teacher in the program since the beginning. They do all the heavy lifting. The entire Rockhurst recognition belongs to the Rockhurst staff, faculty, maintenance department, philanthropy and engagement group, the administration, who tirelessly work, and we just join our mission to them. I want to say special thanks to my friend Kim Brown, our Rockhurst counselor, who's been an advocate for all the Hurtado graduates and a trusted pillar to me. Thanks to all my friends who knew me when, and to Annie Riggs and the sound community that's starting a Human program similar to Hurtado. Go get them, and to all those, and John and Joan and Ellie and Luke, my family, and Sam, Maggie, and Bet. Thanks for understanding when I missed your games and your events, and thank you for everything, Rachel, my love. But this recognition goes to the boys in blue and their families for allowing us to partner with them. I mean, their perseverance and commitment and patience with my shortcomings, for everything we've asked them to do, has been a divine grace for me. I think sometimes society lauds taking the easy way, whatever's easy, and these guys and their families have done everything but that. Heroes get up and go to school and go to work every day, and that's what these folks do. And so the recognition belongs to them. Anthony Ray, who you can see why I'm comfortable stepping aside, who's taking over as director. He's shared many successes of the guys over these past 10 years, so many. But all the Hurtado program tries to do is reflect the hopes and dreams and prayers of the families and the guys. But I hope, and I know the next 10 years, really the only measure of success is love, right? The love we share, and how do we measure that? I don't know. But I think, if the Hurtado program, if we could quantify love through tears and laughter, deep listening and understanding, and a sense of belonging, hope-filled sacrifice, holding one another accountable, heartache and triumph, forgiveness, and challenging one another to be better, I think the Hurtado program has been successful. And I think this is what the church is too. Recently I had a very difficult and a sensitive conversation with a high schooler and Hurtado grad, and I asked him if he liked being at Rockhurst, and he said yes. And I asked him why, and through tears in his eyes, he said he liked being at Rockhurst because so many people cared about him. That's where I want to live, in a world that needs hope, right, and love. And I think this gathering reflects that. We care. So this recognition belongs to everybody but me, to all of us. So I thank you, and let's keep going.
Anthony Ray is literally an answer to my prayers. He's been with Hurtado the past 5 years, and you know, a white van driver, to last 2 years middle school director, and gosh, since he's joined us, most of my job has just been nodding yes to his good ideas. So. And Vanessa Wegman, who I think was not able to be here, is going to take over as the high school director. So I feel I'm so at peace and I'm so excited with the new leadership. Vanessa and Anthony and all of us are going to take us to great places as I transition into the role of Hurtado fun uncle, as Anthony likes to say. So Anthony, I think are you coming? There's a video of Vanessa. There's a video, yeah. So Vanessa Wegman is going to join us here by video. So.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Vanessa Wegman. I wish I was there celebrating with all of you. I am so proud of the amazing work from our Hurtado Scholars Program and its supporters. Over the last few months, Marvin and Anthony have graciously and patiently answered my countless questions. I recently asked, how can I best support our students and families? Marvin thoughtfully and sincerely answered, be yourself. This role is an opportunity to journey with our students and their families, and it is the best part of the job. I am incredibly honored and humbled to continue his hard work. Please allow me to share a little about myself. I am a wife and mother. Steve and I have been married for 21 years. We have 3 children. Lily will be a 6th grader at St. John Lalonde in Blue Springs, Missouri. Vincent will be a senior at Rockhurst High School. And Isabel recently graduated from St. Teresa's Academy and will be a freshman at Creighton University. I am an educator. I taught Spanish in the Blue Valley School District for 7 years. I was blessed to be able to stay home with my young children, then return to the classroom at Bishop Miege for 6 years. When I began at Rockhurst 3 years ago, I was impressed and admired the love and work that went into the program. I knew I wanted to be a part of this beautiful labor of love. I've had the privilege of watching and listening to Marvin, Anthony, and colleagues share what makes the Hurtado Scholars Program so amazing and confirm my sentiment. I absolutely love watching our students grow and learn. I love watching them work through challenges and embrace a growth mindset. They all share their uniqueness and talents that make up our Rockhurst community, and their energy is contagious. I look forward to working towards and celebrating the future successes of our students, parents, and Rockhurst community with so many of you in the near future. Thank you, and have a great night.
Thank you. Good evening. My name's David Laughlin. I'm the president of Rockhurst High School, and humbly and proudly so. A couple of days ago, I got an email with the script, and they said, "You talk here." And I thought, what do you say after all that? So, thank you, Loon and Mateo. Ulysses, I just want to say that as very well behaved as this group was when you start teaching at Rockhurst High School, don't expect that from the voice. We're so glad to welcome you to our faculty. If you're a member of the committee that planned tonight, could I just ask you to stand for a moment? And I don't know that everybody on the committee is here, and I might get in trouble for this, but I'm going to do it anyway. So give them a round of applause. Marvin, they're telling me to raise the microphone too. Is that good, Robbie? Let's thank our hosts here tonight at Grand Street. Please join me in thanking all the staff that are here. Yeah, so here's what I have to say, and I'll ask your forgiveness if it's a bit rambling. We had an opportunity at the beginning of the program to hear that it has a history, a 10-year history. Started from the inspiration of a conversation in a car, an idea about how Rockhurst High School could live more deeply into its Jesuit mission. I've known a lot of humble people in my life, but I'm not sure I've known two more humble people than Bill Sheehan and Marvin Grilio. And what God does with humility is pretty special. Light and fire. The Hurtado Scholars Program is bringing light to potential. And tonight we celebrate a fire that kindles other fires. These images of light contrast themselves with darkness. In the spiritual exercises of St. Ignatius, when directing retreatants, listening for the voice of God and a sense of true consolation, one is invited to move to the light. To move to the light. There is a Jesuit who's quite well known nationally now for work he started years ago, Father Greg Boyle, who works in Los Angeles for Homeboy Industries, and he talks a lot in his work about kinship. And there's a phrase that he uses that came to my mind in making a few remarks tonight. We belong to each other. One of the greatest absences in our society today, in this country, is mutuality. Sitting tonight, knowing God is present among us, tonight is about mutuality. What does mutuality look like? Here's a few examples. It looks like the Bright Futures program this diocese wanted to start to make sure that students who wanted a Catholic education could. It looks like a Jesuit high school partnering with the diocese to say, we can do more together. It looks like the McGowan Foundation from the earliest days saying, it's going to take resources to do that. We're here to help you. It looks like an alumnus of Rockhurst High School and his wife who live in Dallas, Texas, who we recognized last year, who again this year put forth from their material resources to say, we can help you. It looks like Jerry and Bonnie Kelly, who a couple of years ago began us down a serious path of saying, this program deserves sustainability. We can help you. It looks like every benefactor in this room and not who said, I share in this human mutuality of the Hurtado Scholars Program. It looks like my counterpart, Alicia Cotarba from Scion, and Annie Riggs, a member of our board, who said, we're going to do this for young women in the Human Scholars Program at Notre Dame de Sion. It looks like the teachers in our program that Marvin mentioned, and who I want to especially recognize and ask at this time to please stand. If you're a teacher in the Hurtado Scholars Program, would you please stand? And remain standing, because I'm going to talk about you for a minute. I know not everybody could be here. Some were here and needed to leave. But did we hear Anthony Ray earlier tonight say that a Hurtado Scholars student adds another 60% onto his school year? Well, guess what? So do the faculty who accompany them. So do the faculty who work hard for all of our students at Rockhurst High School on a daily basis, and who then say, it's an afternoon, I'm staying later. It's a Saturday morning, I'm getting up. I got a phone call. There's a special circumstance. I need help. These men and women, in my estimation, are the mission of the Hurtado Scholars Program. And none of the rest of our mutuality without the sacrifice of parents sending their sons to us, benefactors, all of those things happen because of those faculty. Thank you to our teachers. What does mutuality look like? It looks like the Rockhurst High School student body saying the Hispanic Development Fund is important in Kansas City, and it's significant, and it's changing, and doing more and more. Let's take part of our fundraising for the mission and support them. And then the next semester to have members of the Hispanic Development Fund come to Rockhurst High School and connect with our scholars for that next level of education. What does mutuality look like? It looks like our philanthropy and engagement staff. See, I don't know that anybody who's a fundraiser loves saying, "Hey Marvin, could you give me $100? But they commit themselves to knowing the program, connecting with the program, and making sure through mutuality that the resources that are needed through our benefactors are there. What does mutuality look like? Tonight it looked like me talking to Mr. Jim Polsinelli from the class of 1960, a former board chair of Rockhurst High School, who lost his wife in the pandemic, and who, along with his children and many family and friends, established a scholarship in her name, and who earlier tonight extended his business card to Mateo, who's interested in immigration law, to say, I can help. I could probably keep going, but I shouldn't, because they said I had 8 minutes. I think tonight in this room, and for those who couldn't be with us, mutuality represents, in our tradition at Rockhurst, the body of Jesus Christ. Each one of us imbued with the Spirit, who may disagree about a variety of other topics in our society, have said that this program that gives these young people a hope-filled future matters. And from the bottom of my heart as the president of Rockhurst High School, I'm just lucky to be part of your mutuality. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
My goodness, why do you have to be so tall? From all of us, thank you to our speakers. Congratulations, Hurtado graduates and Rockhurst Hawklets, on your success to date, and we wish you many more to come.
We invite all of you to stick around after our event, chat with each other, chat with our Hurtado scholars, talk with our new graduates of Rockhurst High School and their families. We have left some information on the tables if you'd like to learn more about our Hurtado Scholars Program. You are welcome to take those flyers home with you. And we ask for your prayers. We ask for your support. And importantly, we ask for your influence. Share this spark of Hurtado to grow this great program into a continuous fire that kindles other fires. El fuego que encienden otros fuegos. Thank you and good night.